Welcome back. You're still watching DayBreak on this 26th day of January 2026. And it's time now for us to have a conversation about what transpired yesterday in terms of politics. I just want us to start by looking at the images from Witima ACK Church that is in Othaya, Nyeri County. Can we listen to them? Okay, unfortunately, you don't have the natural sound from that event, but you will see members of that church have been attending the service, and then this happened. Now, our reporter Kamau Mwangi was there. Kamau, good morning. I don't know how much of this you experienced, but let me just say, pole sana for the experience. But what can you tell us about what exactly transpired?
Yes, good morning, Sam. And yes, indeed, I was at the ACK Witima Church in Othaya, where ex-Deputy President or the DCP leader, Rigathi Gachagua, alongside his allies, were attacked in that particular church. And I remember the entourage of the DCP leader alongside his allies had just come in. They were briefed shortly at the vestry, and then they had just settled inside the church for the Sunday service to commence. This was around 10:30, 10:45. And just before the service could start, the church coordinator was leading that particular service, gave the microphone to the chairperson of the church for his welcoming remarks. And that is when commotion began, because we had also just set up inside the church ready for this particular service, trying to get order to check that our audios were okay. And a group of congregants of that particular church and who had not gotten inside the service came in running inside the church as ni kama tu kulikuwa na tukio ambalo lilikuwa nje, and that is when we had the first tear gas explosion outside. And this is how this particular service was disrupted, because since that canister, or rather after that canister went off, everything went awry. And that is to mean that this was followed by a series of tear gas explosions outside, and Gachagua's security that was stationed at the doors, the canister, were quick to close those doors so that the assailants, who we would then learn that were police officers in civilian clothes, could not access the church itself, where the congregants were and where the DCP leader was seated. And for like 20 minutes, this was a series of gunshots, so a series of tear gas canisters, explosions, and the efforts by the congregants inside to just embark on praise and worship did little to contain the situation, because once the tear gas now entered the church, it was the turn of these particular congregants who were inside to find their way out, because having been locked inside and the tear gas was still coming in, most of them could not sustain being inside the church. We could see children wailing. We could hear women wailing. The congregants just trying to wipe off the effect of that tear gas from their faces. And my cameraman and I, James, decided to just take cover first, because you could not go outside.
Right.
It was a canister after a canister, a gunshot after the other. And then just moments before we could get outside, we saw this group of hooded men just outside at the main entrance of the church, because between the church and the entrance is not quite a far distance. And these guys were armed with the djembe sticks. Some had guns, the AK-47s, and there are those that you could see from afar that walikuwa na zile pistols kwa upande.
Okay.
And that is how we thought for an exit ambayo ilikuwa ni upande mwingine wa kanisa, and then found our way outside, looked for a gap at the fence, and then jumped over as we sought to find our way back to the main road, because that is the only way we could get outside and capture what was happening. And Sam, let me tell you, after getting to the main road, which was around 200 meters from where we found our way out, that is when now we could see the magnitude of what was happening, because we first saw a very strong, we saw smoke billowing from one of the parking slots that the ex-DP had parked the vehicle in which he had come in with, and already this vehicle had already been torched. Okay. And then in around 5 to 8 minutes, these guys threw a pink mist that you could not tell where they had gone, and in a minute they had vanished. So upon now accessing the church, that is when the destruction that had happened outside while we were inside the church was evident. Okay. All the vehicles that were parked inside the church, some had been shattered windscreens, they had been deflated, and you could see the extent of destruction. Okay. Some had even those gunshots piercing through the windscreen. Some. So that is basically what happened, and as a way of trying to, what I would say, protect themselves, these particular assailants would lob tear gas to where we had stationed ourselves, just to ensure that we could not capture much. And then afterwards, that is when now video images of how the attack had occurred would resurface, and we would see what sort of seemed like these guys coming in under police escort, as well as behind the police escort, a Nissan Matatu that at that particular time, we could not establish where it had come from, but it had brought these guys in, and who had launched this particular onslaught for close to 30 minutes. Now,
before you go on, Mwangi, before you go on, so we see a lot of the men that you described there, most of them hooded, some carrying batons, others with their guns, others with tear gas canisters. Who are those people?
Yes. Now, at that particular time, we could not establish who they were, and it has not been confirmed who they are to this moment by authorities here. And I spoke to the county police commander, Kipchirchir, last evening, and he could not confirm who these guys were. He could not tell us whether they were police officers, whether they were hired goons. The most that he could say is that they were investigating to establish who exactly these people were and where they had come from. Some.
And are they, if they are police officers, would they be from Nyeri or from outside?
Now, the allegations are that the officers are from the neighboring Murang'a County. We spoke to the DCP leader yesterday in a statement, who even highlighted the number plates belonging to one of those police vehicles that we had been captured by locals in their phones. And he claims that these police vehicles are from police stations in the neighboring Murang'a County, where he accused Murang'a women rep Betty Maina and Matera MP Eric Wamombi, who are spouses, of having planned the entire attack and bringing on officers from the neighboring Murang'a to do these assaults.
Oh, okay, all right, thank you so much, Kamo Mwangi there. Of course, he is quoting the DCP party leader. We do not have the independence to authenticate whether that is actually the situation, but we received a statement from the National Police Service, and of course condemning the events at Witima, and a very crucial paragraph that says, the Inspector General of the National Police Service, having been made aware of the incident, has directed the Internal Affairs Unit to move in with speed and commence investigations with the deserved urgency. There were no reports of injuries. The nature of this incident is totally unacceptable and has no place in this country. So for the Internal Affairs Unit to be involved, Mheshimiwa Ndeto, I bet there must be something telling.
I was at Witima. So whatever I'm going to say here is an eyewitness account. We, just like Kamau Mwangi, who is one of our, your journalists based in Nyeri, and others, we were all holed up inside the church. And so the story he is giving is exactly true. So the service was just actually like 10-15 minutes. We were just 10-15 minutes into the service. Then, all hell, broke loose. And we had these police officers coming in. Because some, it was not goons this time. I've been to many rallies where we've been attacked, or many church services. I've been maybe to 4 or 5 where we've been attacked. But yesterday was very, very different. And just the images that you're seeing there, and the level of sustained assault that went on. Actually, we had like 40 minutes or thereabout of sustained tear gas and gunshots. We were able to collect a lot of cartridges. I think part of that you've seen on social media. And some you could, this looked like, the only images that could come to my mind of what I saw yesterday is what happened at Westgate, whereby you see police officers trying to respond to a terrorism attack. We had, I think there were about 15 or so of these police officers. Most of them are hooded. I don't want to say goons because we are clear they are police officers, and we have even given some of their names. We have given some of their. I mean, if you look at His Excellency's press statement yesterday, people could recognize some of these police officers. There was even one person calling, and I mean, so and so, why are you doing this? Because I mean, these are people who are known. But the more important thing is that that police statement saying there were no injuries is very misleading. As we speak, Sam, there's a young boy, about 10 years, fighting for his life at Kiriaini Mission Hospital. You can independently verify that. There's a woman who was shot on the leg. A driver to one of our aspirants had a tear gas canister hit him at the lip. He had to undergo emergency surgery at Mathari Mission Hospital yesterday. You can independently verify these things. A number of people suffered soft tissue injuries. Some, as they were trying to jump through the fence, were cut. So the police saying that, first of all, they are investigating. Police cannot investigate themselves. Even if it's the internal affairs unit, there is no investigation going on. So police, please don't waste our time and don't waste the nation's emotions on investigations. You know clearly who these people are. The GK number plates were very well captured of the 2 vehicles. It is there on, social media. You can zoom and see the numbers. Unless they say those are not their vehicles, someone bought vehicles resembling the GK vehicles and brought them in. The sort of firearms that you can see, those are not firearms that are, just around here anyway. Some, yesterday, it's like they had carried a tear gas canister for every worshipper. I told you I've been to places, there were like 50 tear gas canisters that were thrown. This thing took 40 minutes. It was clearly an assassination attempt. And you know what they wanted us to do, so that I cut my long story short. They actually wanted to force us out of the church so that as we ran, they can be able to attack and assassinate us. And I have no doubt the target was His Excellency, the former Deputy President.
Mheshimiwa Karoli, I don't know, why this, why now?
You know, it is quite unfortunate to see this kind of scenes in our country. If you look at those videos, there's a police vehicle next to the attackers. So that would imply police were present.
Yeah.
And if these were thugs, why weren't the police trying even to restrain them from attacking innocent people? It's so clear. There are people carrying AK-47.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell these are police officers by just analyzing the videos. Attacking people inside a church without provocation, without any kind of disorder taking place. They walked in, they first destroyed the vehicles. You can clearly see, they attacked the vehicles, they burned them. Then they attacked innocent, peaceful worshippers in a church because one Rigathi Gachagua happened to have joined them for service. I mean, either we've lost our humanity or we've lost our heads. Because if you think about it critically, this is what happened in Rwanda in 1994. Churches, other than being places of worship, are sanctuaries where people get safety and refuge. Mm-hmm. But here, these innocent women and children going about their Sunday business inside a church.
And men also.
And men, but mainly there are normally more women and children in churches. But that's not the point. They come here, they attack them, injure them, disrupt their worship, and then walk out. Yeah, and you can see police provisions, tear gas canisters. I've seen photos of bullets, all sorts of things. Mm-hmm. We condemned this. This is violence against, political opponents, violence against innocent Kenyans. And the other day we were here. You remember when Honorable Kaluma was attacked? We condemned, we called for accountability. Nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened. And today, what you are seeing here, what is the difference between this and what happened in Kiambaa Church in Washingishu in 2008? Mm-hmm. Haiti started off like this, when politicians would organize goons and gangs to attack opponents, and the mayhem eventually got out of control because the population will now take up the responsibility of defending themselves. Mm-hmm. And they are more than the police. Mm-hmm. They are more than the police. When the rule of law breaks down, what will happen? This kind of thing has to be condemned by everybody. All Kenyans should come out and just condemn it, and we don't want to hear stories from the police.
And what do you think the police should do? You're getting to that, actually.
It is very clear.
Yeah.
The photographs are there. There's enough technology to identify them. You saw what BBC did with the rioters, mm-hmm. The police who shot innocent protesters near Parliament. There's nothing magical about identifying these people. It can be done within a day. And they should be arrested and taken to court, including those who attacked Kaluma in Homa Bay. Mm. Yeah, who didn't even cover their faces. They are known. But nothing has happened. If we allow this to fester, yeah, you can imagine what will happen when the general public decides, okay, the state can no longer protect us, we will protect ourselves.
Mm. Let's listen to what...
And let me add something.
Yeah.
Let nobody think that because you have state security, yeah, that you are safe. When the rule of law breaks down, everybody will be a target, including those who think they have the best security cordon around them. The president of Haiti was killed in his house. His house. This is something we should take very seriously. Yeah.
Rigathi Gachagua spoke alongside Kalonzo Musyoka at different locations, but they spoke about this event yesterday. Listen.
A gang of us 15 police officers, rogue police officers, under the command of 2 bodyguards belonging to that guard Betty Maina, the women rep from Ranga. These people came with a police vehicle, GK vehicle, GKB 765X, and another one from Marawa police station that ferried goons and police officers from Ranga. These officers attached to Betty Maina are the ones that attacked us in Kagio, they attacked us in Narok, they attacked Senator Nyoto in Muranga, and they have attacked us today. The vehicles number are here, Kipchumba Murkomen. These police officers' images are circulating on social media. So what are you telling us? You have asked the IG to investigate. You cannot investigate yourself. This is a government attack, well known to Kipchumba Murkomen. Stop pretending that you are shocked that a church can be attacked. I've seen a lot of nonsense by government bloggers trying to say that we can stage manage our own attack. Where can we get access to tear gas? Is it sold in a supermarket or in Gekomba? Where do we get access to AK-47 assault rifles? Where do we get access to government land cruisers? Where do we get access to police uniform?
Kwa hivyo tunakemea kwa nguvu zote tukio hilo na kuweka mbele yake Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto. Ni lazima yeye mwenyewe ndiye ameidhinisha tukio kama hilo. Haliwezekani bila William Ruto kusema fanyeni hiyo kazi.
Now, Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President, wrote on X saying that violence, whether organized by political opponents, by self for sympathy, or by whoever for whatever purpose, is a criminal act that undermines our democracy and violates the freedom of assembly and of worship granted by law, and is calling for an impartial, non-politicized investigation of the planners, executors, and enablers of this aggression on a place of worship, followed by successful prosecution, is the only way to prevent this behavior from replacing the democratic contest for leadership based on superior principles, ideas, and programs for taking Kenya forward. Now, Mheshimiwa Wendeto,
yes, please.
So then, what happens? Because listening to Rigathi Gachagua, I'm not sure he's the person to go and record a statement with the police service, or is there a plan to do so?
Yes, Sam, this, like I've said, is an act of terrorism on the people. What disturbs us is who do you go to tell, and what do you tell them? Mm. It is public knowledge that there was an attack. The images are out there circulating. It is clear this was done by police. Where do we go? Short of what Karori is now saying, that when the people are pushed to the wall, they can only with their bare hands, because we have no weapons, defend themselves. There is nothing else that is now left for our people. Yesterday, the people who were inside there had nothing to do with the political, 99% of the people had nothing to do with the political situation in the country. The fact that a handful of leaders and politicians were in attendance does not justify harming the young children, the mothers, and the things that we saw, and the destruction that we saw happening there. Where do we go from here? I think that's the big question.
IPOA?
The only thing we can do, we don't trust IPOA anymore. I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. This is, I think, the 5th or 6th attack on the deputy president, either attending a meeting or a church service. The story is the same. From the first one that happened, I think, in Shamata on 29th of December 2024, and I was there. We were told there will be an investigation. What now we have seen is the government putting its bloggers on overdrive to show that what the former deputy president is doing is to organize his own attacks. And Sam, this is the lowest that we can get as a country. This is the lowest that the president of the Republic of Kenya can go to allow this level of mayhem and anarchy, and especially asking police officers to go and desecrate a place of worship. And in a government that prides itself to be strongly anchored on faith, mm-hmm. you cannot attack the same places of worship. So, Sam, I think the best we can do is to call upon the international community. Please help us. We have nowhere to go. We are under attack. There is a threat to life and property for dissenting voices. It is a cancer that is spreading within the region. You saw what happened in some of our neighboring countries.
Right.
And these are not things that we can take seriously. I mean, that we can take lightly. Mm-hmm. If we don't talk now, if we don't amplify our voices on this issue now, today, it could be Rigathi Gachagua mm-hmm. and his team. Tomorrow, it will be so-and-so. And like they say, when they came for the Jews, you kept quiet. When they came, I don't know for who you kept quiet. When they came for you, there will be no one to defend you.
Now, Mheshimiwa Karoli, that's a very serious situation for us to be in, where even the political class, he's a member of parliament, feeling so disenfranchised that you cannot go to complain to any institution. Do you have a chance to get back to sobriety within our institutions?
You know, we cannot give up on Kenya, and we cannot give up on the promise of our independence. But over the years, you've seen we are becoming more intolerant, and the quality of leadership mm-hmm. has also been going down because this kind of behavior reflects on the quality of leaders you have. People can disagree politically. I remember at one point in time, Honorable Gachagua made very reckless statements also when there were demonstrations. You remember? Yeah. That time, when he was in government, he was defending it. Yes. But now see what is happening to him. These are the kind of things I like pointing out. Be consistent. Yes. What is wrong is wrong. And when we cannot allow Honorable Gachagua to be attacked everywhere, every time when he's doing his politics, because it is wrong, even though himself, he made similar previous mistakes. But what will happen and what worries me is that if this continues, because there's today emerging a brand of politicians in this country who believe violence, heckling is the way to do politics. They are transporting people to heckle others, transporting people to attack others, organizing youth groups, goons, taking advantage of the poor youths, giving them small money to mete out violence, and not focusing on the real issues. It will come back to bite them. Anybody who has gone through that path, it comes back to bite you.
Sure.
Yes, and some, I would really not wish that we give up, but let us take the lessons. We cannot keep quiet because we have political disagreements with Gachagua when he's being attacked. That is not right. Okay. Yeah, that we cannot do. So we have to stand and defend him.
So you haven't told me, so where does he go? Is it to the National Police Service? Is it to IPOA? Is it the international community?
What they should do, in my view, is report, follow the procedure, follow the legal procedures. Report, make sure you record, collect the evidence, give it to the police, even if they don't do anything. But you have started the process because there is no limitation on crimes. Okay. In 2 years, in 3 years, those guys can be taken to court. But what you do, report, collect the evidence, present it, let all the women and children who have been hurt go and record their statements with the police. If the police don't want to record it, acknowledge. Someday, people will be held accountable. Yes, but you can't give up.
Was there a High Court decision that said that you don't have to wait for conclusion of the criminal matter to even seek compensation if you're hurt by the police? Sometime last year.
Yes, because those are two different processes. You'll not be compensated because somebody has been convicted. Yeah. You'll be compensated because you've proven you were attacked and hurt. Okay. But you see, for me, we should record all these things. Okay. Because there'll come a day of reckoning. Yeah, people tend to think these things go away. They come back. They will come back. Yes.
All right. Yeah. I want us to transition and we'll continue to pursue